Previously on the Goblin Market, Aline, the halfling carpenter repairing the ladders of Stonewarren Pass, welcomed the Kybers to Stonewarren Town. Once a humble halfling hamlet, it now thrives as a boom town named after Warren Gravestone. Once a hub for trade between the mountain dwarves and Hardat City's humans, Stonewarren has changed. Now home to beardless dwarves exiled for worshipping Mystra, goddess of magic. These dwarves gather forbidden scrolls hidden in mundane tomes of history and poetry. Though shunned for their magic, they wield astounding technology, from dams and aqueducts to Crete, a liquid stone that hardens in water. Amid this strange town, the Kybers encounter Galprank, dwarven translator for the faithful, and Percival, leader of the freemen. Galprank seems to be like any roustabout they've ever met, but Percival, in his silence, looked past their reams and right into the souls of the Kybers. Find out what happens next on this episode of the Dungeon Dad's Goblin Market.
To the river they tread, only to be swept away.
Morning and evening you may hear the cry, candies and berries and baubles to try, sweet to the tongue and sound to the eye, but heed words of caution when you then decide to come by, come by, come by, come by, come by.
Just beware the Goblin Market.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to Dungeon Dad's Goblin Market. As always, I'm your DM, Tom Blaylock, and I am joined today by Tim Carr, Sam Frank, and John Watson. What is up, fellas?
What's
Good
up?
to be here.
Hello.
So,
I like how you've gone straight to just the three of us, so you don't have to introduce our characters.
I like the three of you. Here's the deal.
The listener should get it by now.
Yeah, and here's the deal. I like having the in the moment like reactions, get your voices, but it also gives up a lot of power to you three in determining where we start the episode. So I will be doing some of that, especially if we ever stop in a fight, which might happen this episode. Well, I don't know. We'll see. The thing that I want to do is I actually really want to jump right into it. You had this moment where after seeing something you've frankly never seen before, this very weird ritual done by the Mystra faithful, where right at noon they burned a bunch of books, and from the ashes of the books produced these golden magical scrolls. And I told you some of the ones that you found, but they're not safe. You found fireball, you found acid arrows, there were magic missiles coming out of there. There were shield spells. I mean, it's like an arsenal of spells, though you haven't seen any of these dwarves use any magic yet, other than the sort of magical fire that they use to burn the books. Right there at the end of last episode, Percival, who is a human, touched the back of your head, Busk, and told you that Mystra was not with you and that you should let your friends go. And then he turned his attentions to Ebis, and he said to Ebis, Mystra is with you, and you will be amazed at what you can unlock if you keep your mouth shut and watch the world. And then he turned to Charnak and said, Mystra has a place for you, little gnome. And so you're still here in this room in the Freeman's Lodge, which is the second oldest building in Stonewarren Town, cut entirely from stone, filled with these magic-using beggars who each burned one of these books. You have a new list of books of 30 that they would like for you to buy and come back to them with. But I don't know if that's something you're interested in or not. Let me know what do you want to do?
First off, can I do an Arcana check? the question that is occupying me right now is, are they creating these scrolls out of pre-existing books?
Got it. Yeah.
Or are the books basically disguises for the scrolls? Are these things that have been specifically made to smuggle this stuff? Or is it somehow being extracted from whatever knowledge or mysteries are in the books themselves?
Yeah. So go ahead and give me the roll. That's a lot of information that you're asking about. I will tell you what you see when you sort of look at it with your Arcana eyes.
16.
So, you're surprised by this ritual. You've not seen anything like this before. Mm-hmm. But you did see, as they're burning the books, that the paints on the illustrated plates in the center of the book melt together in almost liquid, as almost like metallic ink that forms together. Now, with a 16, give me also a perception check with this, because you were perceiving it. You weren't. Wow. Okay.
21.
Okay. All right.
Listen, I watch and I know things. Yeah, that's what this character is built for.
So, okay. So the interesting thing is, the book that had nothing in it, it also had the center illustrated plates. Mm-hmm. It's just that the ink didn't melt into something else. Mm-hmm. And so, with the information you have, watching the ritual take place on these like 20 different bronze plates, is that someone hid through magic inks that would be activated with fire scrolls in these books. And you were looking for the specific books because they knew where the scrolls were hidden.
And so my other assumption then is that they were not hidden for these people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be tasking us to go out and hunt these down, right? They would have been sent here of their own accord.
I like your supposition. I like what you're saying.
But you can't confirm because I don't have the evidence to back that up. Yeah.
I'm only telling you that's a really good idea. I like where your insight is, but I will neither confirm nor deny.
Okay. I keep that information to myself for the time being.
Okay. So Percival is still kind of in your brain, Charnak. And just remember, he's looking at Gregor Wint, and he's calling you Little Gnome.
I make my own place, whether in accordance with Mr. or no.
A reckoning is coming, Little Gnome.
You reckon?
Mr. tells me so. But we are all free men here, in this building at least. Be careful with that meat that you're riding around in, though. He looks like a slave to the dwarven overlords.
How may we treat with the dwarven overlords?
You don't want to treat with them. Trust me.
Perhaps our treating is merely a trick.
They raid our village at night. From the mountain.
So this village does not live under the dwarven overlord's protection?
No.
This is not a symbiotic relationship. You are in conflict.
We are in conflict. And they send awful things our way nearly every night.
Interesting. Awful things from within and also from without. You are truly in a desperate situation.
We are between a rock and a hard-at place.
Wait, I should chuckle a little bit so it picks up on the audio. That all just got a wry smile from everyone on the video here.
Although our characters are not hearing this.
They're not hearing it. That's right.
We're just staring meaningfully into each other's eyes.
I mean, this is happening very fast. As most telepathic speech happens, it is close to instantaneous.
What do the dwarven lords want of you? What is the source of this conflict? Why can you not live in peace?
They want us to give up Our Lady, the goddess Mistra. And we want them to die.
Okay, I get it now.
As long as you do not make common cause with them, we will respect your liberté as we do the halflings.
Clearly, it is in our interest that the followers of Mistra continue to thrive and flourish. Perhaps we could intercede with the dwarven lords on your behalf.
We will smoke them out and drown them out shortly. We need not aid from outsiders. And when we do, we shall retake our home inside the mountain place.
You'd rather be inside the mountain?
Well, we'd rather control it. Be free of their excursions into our new home. And unfortunately, that means they've got to go.
Have we seen yet where, like, the entrance to the dwarven city is?
They're right at the edge. So, this whole town has sort of blossomed from right around a giant stone gate that looks sealed, but you can tell it's cut into stone. It has all the trappings of a sort of very traditional dwarven cave system. You've seen many of them in your travels.
That's why I thought, which is why it's so surprising that they're at war, but hanging out on the doorstep.
Maybe there's something they want in there.
Well, very well met. Perhaps we should be on our way. Do you have that list of books? We should be going.
Yes. Here it is. And he lifts it up, and you see Goblin, who's next to you, and he says, "What's going on here? Hey, listen to me, Freeman. The deal we have is that I talk on your behalf, and I am your intermediary." And Percival just looks at him for a second, and then Goblin shuts the fuck up and says, yes, you are quite right. You are quite right. I am well paid.
So Galprank, the dwarf, I'm sorry, I'm just sort of thinking out loud with my compatriots here. I'm not saying any of that. Again, I had sort of assumed he was an emissary from the dwarven city and that's who he was primarily intermediary for, but now it seems like that's not the case.
He is also exiled, though he made it seem as though he can talk to anybody.
Exiled to the frontier, not from the kingdom. Right?
That's right.
Was sort of the assumption.
That's right. He cannot go back in the mountain.
Well, very well. We have seen much of your wonderful village. We will do what we can to assist, but for now we should be on our way.
And Galprank looks, and Percival does some more hand signals, and Galprank says, "Yes, Lord Percival says you should. You may not sleep in the church or any building that is under construction that does not have locking doors. If you would like to stay here, we suggest the Halfling Tavern, which is down the road to the west, a quarter of a mile. You can't miss it. It's the one made out of wood.
Very well. We thank you for your time.
Yes, and stay in at night. And they go back to ringing a bell. Each one of them produces a bell on their copper plates, and they ring it on every 5 or 10 seconds and return to their prayers.
Galprank, if you will point us in the right direction, we appreciate your assistance. Maybe I can toss him a couple of gold pieces, and we will resume our conversation on the morrow.
Very well. You can treat with the freemen at noon, and only at noon. They work the rest of the day.
Isn't it? It's past noon. So tomorrow then.
Yes. Yes, no more today. They will not even sign to me now.
So they just do all their talking to you in the morning.
Around noon is when they do their prayers, and when they're in their prayers, they will sign with me. When they are working, they are silent and dedicated.
Well, okay.
What are they working on?
Everything. All the houses. Under the lake. Something that goes back into the mountain. I'm not sure what that is.
Are they burrowing under the lake, you said?
I've never been in the lake. It's new, but it's full of things. Fish, yes, but also scary things.
Yes, very good, Galprank. Well, we appreciate your time, and we will see you on the morrow. Ta-ta, sir.
I will be at the Stonemasons Guild.
And to you I say, toodaloo.
Two.
So we start walking. I'm like, these guys are crazy. And we should stay anywhere except the Halfling Tavern.
Where do you suggest?
In the woods, somewhere secluded, find a hiding spot. These guys are nuts. They are stocking up for war, and it seems like a standard G9 religious cult.
I agree. Should we not try to go into the mountain?
Charismatic followers, dichotomous thinking, high pressure tactics, coalescing around a common enemy, standard stuff, but not something we want to be around, especially if they think we're unbelievers.
And just to remind you, Ebis, I'm not even recommending that you do this, but when you met Aline, he did offer to let you sleep at his place. And also warned you about being out at night as well. I don't think you've told your friends that, though.
I think I mentioned the
work offer, the
work offer, and the role that they give the humans.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think. Yeah, you're right.
Should we not try to go into the mountain?
I think we should, but I think we should at night.
So what's the plan then? To wait for the gates to open with whatever they're going to attack with and sneak in behind it?
Well, we haven't gotten a good look at those gates yet. Maybe there's a way inside. Maybe there's another way inside that someone else knows about. But we are not going to get far talking to these guys.
Talking, that's funny.
What about the lake?
They just all want to shoot acid arrows in the name of Mistra. Real nut bar types.
It was strange. They They seem to know something about us, even without being able to say a word.
Yeah, they've definitely got some telepathy going on. They knew we're riding shotgun in these bodies.
As to getting into the mountain, do you recall seeing the waterworks running into the mountain?
Yeah, I remember.
I'm still very curious what's the fucking point of that, but it is a way in that's not through the gate. I just don't know where it leads, or if it's useful at all.
Well, that's true. I say we go check out the lake and the water. That is why we are here.
It's true. Would love to know if we can take out a dam if we have to.
But do you feel that? I believe there are eyes on us.
Wait a second. I need to do a roll.
Tom's going to roll to see if he remembered to put a scrying spell on us.
Okay.
I don't see the harm in looking.
Well, all right. Let's take a stroll and observe the waterworks. But you walk first, big man.
Don't worry, I'm up front.
So you guys heading back to the lake?
Mm-hmm.
So if you recall, you walked around it, but there is a sort of central pier that goes straight through it, raised. And then it has small piers that come off it and connect the sides. So it kind of, I'm not sure you've ever seen anything like this, but it is sort of made to be about sort of like a water farm. So it's not it sort of cuts it up into a grid of 6 different areas, and there's no way of knowing if the boardwalk that goes like as a pier down the center and the smaller piers that sort of cut across to the sides, it's no way of knowing if it actually cuts off what's underneath or if it's just, up on pillars
Floating.
But it sort of looks like if you were to farm a lake, that it looks like a farmed lake.
How far across is the lake?
So the whole thing is about a half a mile long, and then only about maybe 1,000 feet wide. So big in terms of, it's not a pond,
Bigger than a pond, but smaller than a
honest to God natural lake.
Honest to God lake.
Yeah. And very oval. So it really looks fake. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. It doesn't look like anything nature has wrought.
This does not look like anything nature has wrought. I believe this is more of these dwarven workings.
Yeah, the edges are far too rounded. Terrain seems manipulated.
All right. So you guys walking down the center pier?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Taking in the sights of this unusual new place we happen to be traveling through.
Yeah. So, and there's a few people out fishing on it. They're fishing with thrown nets, not fishing poles. So, even here, fishing poles are definitely more of a leisure thing or I'm just getting fish for my family tonight. These are thrown nets weighted down with shells and rock, and they toss them out about 8 or 9 foot diameter of these rounded nets, and then pulling up the cast net with fish in it in the first little area. Give me your perception checks. I'm assuming you guys are looking around for things.
Yeah, like how the fuck do you farm a lake?
19.
25.
Okay.
5. There you go, Tom.
Sweet. Okay, that's what I love. All right, so I'm going to give you each your own, because you're all kind of looking around, but your eyes all catch different things as you're looking around. So I'm going to
or nothing at all.
Or I know, no, you definitely spot something. So I'll start with Ebis actually. So Ebis, you see a diver off the left side of the pier that you're walking on, and he's going down. He's got a spear in his hand, and the thing that you notice about him is that when he goes down, he's down for like 30 or 40 seconds. No bubbles come up. And then he resurfaces with fish or other things. Let's see here. Charnak is next with a 19. So Charnak, you're looking at the lake, but you're also a little bit more on edge, as you always are. You're sort of like an anxiety-ridden ball of like, your nerves. You're nervous all the time. About 500 feet back toward the city, you see Gallprank looking through a conical tube in your direction that you have seen in the past. You know that this thing is a non-magical device which lets you see very far in the distance, and he looks like he's looking right at you. And then
Can I do 2 more things?
let me
Before we
tell
move on to the
Ebis
next
what he
one?
sees
Okay,
first.
all right.
So
You
then
mean Busk.
You mean Busk?
I'm sorry, Busk. So Busk, you tell me what you're mostly looking at. With a 25, I got to give you something good.
So can I see the water going back into the mountain?
You sure
From
can.
here?
Yeah. So Aline sort of pointed out like the area that the aqueduct was going in, and you can see that in the water there is a rounded tube, which is easily 3-foot diameter. And you see where it's just below the surface, and then you can see it sort of like quickly disappearing down. And it's only about 100 feet away from where you are now. And you do notice that on one of the piers, there is, it's wood slats all the way along, and there's no space between them. They're all fitted close together. And you do see that it's weird. There's a place where the slats don't line up. It's like a circle has been cut out of them, and it's slightly twisted off from the thing. So you see this tube going toward the pier, and then you see an area of the wood that's not too far away from you that looks like it's not quite right.
It's a little
if that
off.
makes sense. It's a little bit off.
So I'm going to go to that and try to see if I can twist it off.
Okay. Before you get there, but that's you're gonna go that way. Sam, what's Charnak gonna do?
1, just for kicks, I'm going to detect portal.
Okay. What does that do? What detect portal? What?
I have the
hell?
ability to magically sense the presence of a planar portal within a mile.
Within a mile. Oh shit! And it has to be a portal that goes to a different plane. Is that right?
Planar portal. Yeah. Now, if you say a portal within the planes may punch through the holes of reality.
Sure.
Yeah. And be a planar portal. I don't know. I leave it to you. But yeah, I think it's mostly meant to be portals between planes.
So let's see here. Do you know the direction to it? Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I know the distance and direction.
So there is a planar portal.
Oh, shit.
And it is within a mile. And it is down.
Tell me it's at the bottom of the lake.
It's down and toward the mountain, into the mountain.
Okay.
So but it's down. And I mean, I'm going to give you a direction of about, from where you're standing, it's about 30 degrees, like diagonal, about a half a mile away.
That made me feel so good.
I can't believe it. Well, you'll see if you ever see it. Why I can't.
Yeah.
I can't not have you. I didn't know you had this ability. This
I just had the ability on my
bonkers.
list. I was looking through. I was like, yeah, might as well. The other thing I was gonna do, so the aqueduct, right?
yes.
Water just sort of rushes over that and sort of goes like it's not like a tunnel. It's not like fish could swim into it and out.
So there are multiple aqueducts, and fish could get in it. There is the open air aqueducts that are sort of just like a half a tube, sort of semi
Like a water chute.
like
slide.
a water chute. Yes,
Yeah.
like a water slide. So you have those which are generally taking water to farms that are stretched out beyond the lakes. And then you have a few that are like large, these large 3-foot diameter tubes that you cannot see in, and you do not see where the intakes and outtakes are.
All right. Can I spot a nearby fish?
I will give it to you as an action.
Do you have detect fish?
But before I do that action, let me go to Ebis, and then I'll go back to Busk.
So when you said the diver had no bubbles, is that like mouth bubbles or like splash bubbles?
So normally, if you go down, you're swimming around underwater, and you're coming up, you breathe
exhale.
out,
Yeah.
and bubbles come up to the top. No bubbles came up to the top.
But like the water's not weird. Like when he dove under, like there's still like the normal swirl and
That's right.
bubble.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Just no indication that this diver is breathing.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that would probably grab my curiosity, especially if he's diving down repeatedly. But 30 to 40 seconds doesn't strike me as like an impossibly long time.
No. You could definitely hold your breath 30 or 40 seconds for sure. All right, Busk, you're going over to the
I'm going
thing.
to try
Are
to
you leaving
twist
your
it
team?
off. How far away is it?
You know, you gotta get off the main path here, your pier, and then get on one of the smaller piers, and it's about 60 feet down that pier. So you're talking about a little bit of a walk.
Okay.
15 seconds of a walk. Not far.
I'm just going to, as I'm leaving, I'm going to say, the pier over here. It looks strange. I think we can open it.
Why don't we peer from over here?
You going to watch me? You going to knock an arrow while I'm doing it?
Jesus.
Let's peer about the pier with your peers.
Okay.
Look, remain vigilant.
What do you mean we can open it?
It looks strange. There's a circle. Look there. It looks like maybe we could twist it off.
All right.
Twist it or
Be careful.
lift it? There's a seam. So you're yeah.
Well, I just want to check it out.
Okay.
Hope nothing appears.
Bravo.
Okay, you're gonna head over for there, Busk?
Yeah, I'm heading over there.
Okay. So you take a left to get onto this pier, and you're walking with purpose toward this like messed up part of the wood. And when you're about 30 feet away from it, every net thrower on every pier gets up and looks at you. And they, one of them that catches your eye puts his hands together in the prayer motion, points up, and then gives you the number 6, and then cuts at his throat with his hand, giving you the international, like, you will die symbol.
And I point to the pier button, and I point to that, and then do the symbol. I point to that, point to myself, and then do the symbol
And
for death.
and
For the true death.
for the true death. And he holds his hands in prayer again, and then he points at every fisherman within sight, and he does the all of us, and then he points to you, and then does his finger of death on his throat.
I stare at them skeptically, and then I just shake my head like, why? And then I
Busk.
then
They
I walk
respond
back
to
to my.
They respond to you. They point to you. They do the big muscle like guy flexing, and then he points. And this time he points, and every time he points at another fisherman, he adds a finger to his hand, and then he does up to 9 guys, and he does the all of us, points to you, and then does the finger.
I just shake my head and I say,
Let us move to
Fuck.
the rear before spears appear.
on the pier. I shake my head and I start moving back to Charnak and Ebis.
All right, and Charnak, you wanted to find a fish.
If it kills me not to push a button.
Oh, it's not a button. So I want to be clear. It's almost exactly 3 feet in diameter. It looks like it's potentially the top of this, or something that is about the same diameter as the aqueduct. That's this tube that's under the water.
Yeah.
Does it seem like we're relatively centered in the lake where this thing is?
Very centered. Yes, very centered.
So I want to move to as secluded a portion of the pier as I can.
Yeah. Toward where you came up the Palisades, just like if you go that way, that is the most
out of earshot of any obvious people, around. Because I also just realized Speak with Animals is a self spell that lasts 10 minutes. For some reason, I always thought you had to cast it on a specific animal.
No, it's like just like Speak with the Dead, and yeah.
So I'm going to cast Speak with Animals, and I'm going to put my face in the water and start chatting with some fish.
Okay.
Hello. Hello down there.
Okay. So you're okay. So let me
glup glup, my good man.
So in the area where there's not very many fishermen, you put your head into the water. You don't immediately see any fish. And let's see here. Have you been in a fight recently by any chance?
Yes.
A little bit. I mean, I've got 35 out of 37 hit points.
Okay. So you're
we haven't had a long rest
you
since
got
our
like
last
a
fight.
nick on your face. You're like, you're tough, you're with it, but like you're not full hit
I'm
points.
Gregor Wint, man of wealth and action.
Okay. So you have your face underwater, and it's midday, and the sun kind of streams in, and with your eyes open, you kind of can make out 15, 20 feet around you. And initially there's nothing. And then you see from about 10 feet down and sort of, straight away from the pier, you see a tiny little fish that's swimming toward you. And he must have heard you call. And what do you say to him?
I say, and a good glup to you.
No glup. Swim away. And then you see behind him it's not huge, but it is definitely a shark. It's a reef shark.
My, what a magnificent reef shark. I would not have expected to see such as you in a lake such as this.
And
your sleek grace is astounding to behold.
And he swims And he kind of turns his face, and his gray eyes with no pupils sort of stare into you, and he says, "What manner of surface dweller are you that you would deign to speak with Terry the Destroyer?"
Mr. the Destroyer.
"That is my name."
I wish to learn more about your watery home here. I sense that there are many entrances and egresses from this lake, which are unusual.
"Do not go near the grill. Everything else is safe.
The grill, you say?
In the dead center.
Is there more water below the grill?
There is not. It is only death."
Is there, I'm trying to describe an interplanar portal to a reef shark. A big hole to nothingness.
It is indeed a big hole to nothingness, and the undermountain surface dwellers take my food and let them flop around on their tables, and I can see them through the grill.
You can see them through the grill, you say?
I can see them.
How? This grill, is it large enough for you to swim through, or only for such as your prey?
It is only for such as my prey, but no water escapes through it, except at night.
Except at night?
When much and more goes through the grill.
My lord the Destroyer, do any of these other passages away from the lake lead into the realm of the short, fat surface dwellers?
I do not know, but they catch my catch. And you do not look exactly like them, but you look enough like them. Now tell me, do you control the grill, surface dweller?
I do not control the grill, but I may seek a way to pass through it and intercede on your behalf.
Should you close the grill, I will show you where the schools are.
That is a generous offer, my lord the Destroyer. Terry, you have gained the friendship of Gregor Wint of Wint Manor.
I know not this manor, but it must be a fine place, full of kelp.
It is of the surface, Terry, and although there is no kelp, the metaphor holds. All right.
Destroy the grill.
Is there a way through the grill for a surface dweller such as me?
I know not.
Very good.
I am hungry, and you have scared off my prey.
I apologize, Terry.
Call to him as you did before, and I will hide here behind this wooden pole.
Little fishy.
Yes, is he gone?
Little fishy. Thank you for your time and the information, Terry.
And for your food. Thank you for sharing.
I pop my head up, and then while I still got a few minutes left on this, I want to look around for any birds. Any seabirds around?
I'm not seeing seabirds.
Any little sparrows? I might have to call out to them in bird language, which would probably be a little awkward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. There were birds in town. Mm-hmm. You don't see any birds on the lake. They do a pretty good job of scaring off the birds of prey that would eat their fish.
Mm-hmm. No ducks.
The dwarves. Yeah, doves in town.
No ducks.
No ducks.
No ducks.
Ducks,
No
geese,
ducks.
waterfowl,
No ducks,
Kingfishers.
waterfowl. I mean, just
Pelicans.
loons.
this is a new lake. I understand you guys know a lot.
John,
of,
jump in here. Come
I
on.
know you guys know a lot of
Cranes. Ibis,
water
perhaps.
birds.
Flamingos.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
A
you
heron?
for that. No, there's no heron. There's no cranes. No
An osprey.
kingfishers. No ospreys. There's no birds here. I'm just going to say that again. There's no birds.
Okay. All right.
You can go back into town and get a pigeon.
Well, I'm going to turn to the guys here and I will say, I know you will be astounded at how I learned all of these facts, but there is a fine grill at the bottom of this lake, large enough to admit small fish, but too tight for a shark or a person to fit through. The water does not flow through, but fish flow through it, and there are people of some undescript type collecting fish from below the lake, possibly through a portal.
I'm so confused. You just said there's a drain at the bottom of the lake, but only the fish fall out?
That's right.
Well, we know there's magic everywhere here, so maybe I'm not as confused as I thought I was.
Now, water goes through, but only at night.
So the lake drains.
Well, I suppose we need to wait until everyone's asleep. They just threatened to kill me if I messed with the pier.
For twisting that knob?
I didn't even get close to it. I don't know what it does. Do I twist the knob? Do I press my knob?
The one thing
Let's squeeze my
everyone
knob.
around here has been absolutely consistent on is that we should not go out at night. You know what I'm thinking?
Let me guess.
We should go out at night.
All right.
There's something they don't want us to see, and I got a feeling we want to see it.
Agreed.
I mean, the freaks come out at night. Probably going to see some freaks.
Freaks I can handle.
I gesture expansively to the three of us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The freaks should go out at night.
Ah, I see what you're getting at.
Do we have any magic in our arsenal in these bodies that would allow us to get to a grill at the bottom of the lake and slip through it?
Let me think. No, I don't have anything that can help us.
Is
Breathe.
there anything in those books that we just sold?
We don't have the books.
We can
Gonna
go back. Talk to them. Maybe they have a scroll of some kind.
I
They
thought
seemed very concerned with blowing things up.
It's worth asking.
I mean,
I don't know that it is.
so
I think maybe we don't want them to know what we're thinking about.
I kind of agree with Charnak here.
By the way, Galprank's still watching us.
What?
Yeah, he's over there. He's got a spyglass.
When you look back, you do not see him with a spyglass. You see him only about 300 feet away on the plane, on the pier now. And
Here he comes.
as soon as you look in his direction, he picks up a fishing pole and quickly wets the hook.
I thought he was going to tell you not to touch that thing either, Busk.
no, where did the animal that you spoke to? Where did the animal you spoke to say the grill was?
At the bottom.
No, I know, but anywhere particular.
The bottom of the lake.
I heard you.
Sorry, Busk.
Over there, and I'll just start pointing different directions.
In the middle.
Well, that pier round thing that you were looking for, Busk, that seemed like it was in the middle.
That's what I was about to ask. Was that in the center, Tom?
It's almost dead center of the oval. It is almost dead center.
So perhaps we don't actually need to swim. Or perhaps we just need to keep an eye on the center of the lake and see what comes up out of the pier.
Well, I suppose we won't know anything until we wait.
Yes, we should see if... What's the word for when something is out of your vision and then comes into your vision?
Invisible? What?
No, like I didn't see it, and then suddenly you see it.
Is it a
Never
pier?
mind. Let's walk to the end of this pier while I think about it.
Something.
Let's walk to the end of a pier while I continue to think about the word I'm looking for.
Something that is gone and then comes back into view. What? I'm just walking away.
Where are we sleeping tonight, gentlemen?
Fuck if I know. I don't really want to go back to that guy, Aline, but he did offer a place, or maybe we're not sleeping. Staying up for the night.
Well, maybe we set up camp outside of town.
Yeah, somewhere discreet and out of sight where we can rest for a few hours until cover of darkness.
I gotta say, perhaps we should be somewhere safe where we can see what's waiting for us in the darkness. There's been a lot of don't go out at night.
Maybe Idea has some ideas.
Where is Idea?
Well, we'd have to pop out of our bodies to, yes, let's go find a place where we can sort of set up camp and watch, and then one of us can pop out and talk to him. He's far away. Makes me a bit nervous being this far from ourselves.
I agree. We have a new ability. It's exciting, but also nerve-wracking.
All right, well, let us find a hidden and defensible spot in the wilds off the road where we can rest for a bit. And let us have Idea meet us there.
So let me give you a couple of options for camping based on what you've seen so far. So you probably anywhere around the lake you can see the lake is either farmland or super curated and manicured, and you should treat it as though it's part of the city. The Palisades that you came up on definitely did not look like it is used much by people. And certainly in the lower areas where the ladders were recently burned out, there were a couple of landings that were like a few ladders down that were definitely big enough for a campsite. But if anyone uses Aline's bucket, that is basically his bucket elevator, they would pass right by you. So they would see your fire. They would see all of that. You could go without a fire. You're not likely to get a full short rest if you go without a fire and the trappings of eating and a short rest that way. I don't think if you're going to go out at night, you're going to get a long rest.
I mean, I think a short rest we could get during the daytime. Like we could just chill by the side of the lake for an hour and get a short rest before we go wander off if we really,
you're not going to get a long rest, like unless you have fire and a food and all that stuff.
Yeah, we don't have time unless we're waiting till partway through the night.
I was going to say, we probably do. It's like mid-afternoon now.
Yeah, I mean
we have to go to a place, set up, and then we could go back at 2 in the morning.
Right? It wouldn't be surreptitious, but it's fine. Like if you decided you were going to do that there. The other place is there is a main road that goes through out town, straight from the dwarven door, and it goes down through the Stonewarren Pass, which you did not travel on, and you don't know what's on that road, but you chose to go up the steep, direct route. The way people talked about it, though, it is basically a road cut into the stone. And so, like the knowledge that you have so far, you would be camping on the road, basically, like literally on the road, unless you climbed up in the mountains some.
Another question: when we were out on the lake, and I know Ebis is probably not going to be the one that's seen this, but were there like on the sides of the lake? Is it in a giant valley, or does it look like there would be other inroads from somewhere else on the lake, like trails or
No. So imagine that all of the level grassland here is sort of almost like a perfect rectangle of, say, 60 or 70 football fields. with the lake in the center of them. They're all clear cut, and they all have, most of them have crops growing in them. Some are high, so you could potentially go into, like, if you wanted to do just a sneaky sleep, you could like lay down amongst the plantings on one of the farms. It's not corn, but it is a grain. There's a couple of grains that are being grown there, a rye, which is quite tall, 3 or 4 feet high. So you could be out of view in some of those things, but from what you've seen, if you want to not be like someone to know where you are, like it's probably back out the way you came.
Right.
Or there's a lot of like construction sites that are in and around town that you could potentially get up in. You were warned specifically about that, though.
Do we know where Idea is at this point?
You know where he is because you left him in the clearing where the near where the goblin,
the ogres,
the ogre attack happened. It's several hours to get back to Idea.
It's funny. Sorry, I'm going to tangent. This community sounds very much like this. Like Disney's building a series of houses in California, like out in Rancho Mirage, which is like out near Palm Springs.
Yes. What's the town called?
Out near Coachella. It's Rancho Mirage.
Rancho Mirage.
But the town they're building is called Cotino.
Cotino.
We'll put a link in the show notes or something, but it's just like so dumb. It's like, there's like a lake and it's not, natural looking. And it's like all these buildings going up. I was like, Jesus Christ, this sounds like the Disney development that's coming.
Yeah.
It's just like tract housing, but built by Disney.
Yeah.
With like, park in a community and all that. I was like, oh my God.
So here's what I'm going to recommend. I think one of us pops out, tells Idea to meet us on the path near Aline's elevator. Did not seem like it was much in use, especially after the recent attack, and that we meet up and make camp there.
Okay.
And I don't think we have to be super clandestine, just as long as we're somewhere where we can see danger coming.
And last time you did see, no, maybe not. Never mind.
Tom, would I have seen how Aline operated the elevator?
You did. No one else saw it though. Yeah. And the elevator doesn't go all the way down. It goes about to like there's 3 or 4 ladders before the elevator is, at the lowest point on it. And it's not a straight up and down the elevator. It's definitely kind of like a ski lift kind of situation. Yeah.
So multiple baskets as opposed to like.
No, it's only one basket. It's only
one
basket.
But it's at an angle.
It's at an
not
angle.
A straight
yeah.
okay.
It's just his basket is dangling from a line that moves up and down. So the basket doesn't move up and down. It is the line that is operated from the basket.
Yeah, I've got no problem with your plan, Sam.
Okay,
that was me hand waving.
That's hand waving. Yeah, so you make your way down the palisade again. It takes you a couple of hours to just do it like safely. And one of you has popped out, and when you pop out, they are playing cards and eating, and Idea looks over. Who is it who pops out?
Dinfa.
And so Dinfa, you pop out, and they're and
I can only imagine Idea's like, oh fuck, not again.
Yeah. and you sit up, and Idea says, "Oh, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine. We wanted to talk to you for a minute. We need you to meet us at the backside of the mountain here. We're going to set up camp.
Is everything okay with Gregoire Went?
So far, so good, but we are still keeping an eye on him.
I can always help you if you want me to take a stronger tone with him.
Thank you. We will keep that in mind.
So you want us to remake our camp someplace else without your protection in the travel? That's
fine, I suppose.
We just thought it would be easier if we met at the bottom of the mountain. We may have other use for you.
And there's no sign of anyone attacking near the bottom of the mountain, is there?
So far, so good.
Okay.
And we are there, waiting for you.
Very good. Very well.
Does Idea have a way to signal us if there is
No,
trouble at the camp?
he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He can't, like, tap us on the shoulder, slap us in the face.
Stick a
No.
pin in one of our real bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, he could psychically damage you, which he could do.
Okay.
That's like absolute emergency.
Yeah, that means that we might not be able to get back into the.
Well, and
Ream,
it's
right?
not like we're a whole lot of use in our kyber bodies for
That's
the most
right.
part.
Right.
That's right.
Very well, we'll be there with you. It'll take us some time to pack up. Yes, that's right. We're going. Splendor, you're gonna have to help. What you're doing now is not helping.
And Splendor's there in a trance, just flexing his abs.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we do have a spare ream. So if something goes bad, he could psychically damage me, and I could pop into
That's
Splendor. in
absolutely
theory.
right. That's absolutely correct. Yes.
Yeah. But Idea's got some. He's no slouch, right?
He's no slouch.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are getting your rest while they're making their way over. It's a couple of hours before they get to you. They get to you around 8 p.m. And let me have survival checks from all three of you. The number I'm looking for here is 35 combined.
No, I was going to say, I can't
It's like
get that high. Tom.
35.
All together. 35
13
altogether.
from me.
11.
11.
No, Sam, you can roll the 24.
Oh, sorry, 24.
Okay.
We popped up at the same time.
So everything that Ebis does is just lanyap, is 100% extra. So Idea rolls up, and the camp is suitable for the entire party. You make it so that you finish off one of the ladders that they can get up to where you are. And then it's a retractable ladder. So you're able to retract the ladder to give you a 30 or 40 foot like protection from anyone who might come from up. And you are right at the bottom of the elevator, which I'm assuming you brought down with you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like crazy noisy, I think it would be.
I mean, there's no one there. It's like far away from everything. It's like you can't even really see it from town. It's just like you're able to take it. So yep, it's about 9 p.m. by the time everyone is like well situated. It's dark out already. The stars are brilliant. The moon is brilliant, and it's quiet and lovely here in Stone Warren Pass.
And you said this was a short rest.
A short rest, yeah.
Mhm.
You had to get the campsite ready for them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
I'm looking over what I get back on a short rest. It's not much.
It's not much, yeah.
So you just push the short rest button in roll 20 and go, see?
Yeah.
That's what I get.
I'm trying to decide if it's worth using a hit die to get 2 hit points back. I'm
Probably
gonna
not.
say no for the time being.
Probably not, yeah.
For the time being.
So if you're going to head back up, it's 20 minutes or so in the elevator. If you guys all hike up together, it's, 35, 40 minutes. You don't hear anything from up top, but you're very far away.
All right. So we're being sneaky heading back up.
I think we're definitely being careful if we're not being
Yeah.
sneaky, but I'm good with stealth.
Yeah. Give me a stealth check and a history check.
19 stealth.
10 stealth for Ebis.
And just for kicks, even though I'm sure it was a joke, 21 history.
No, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke.
20 for history.
Jesus.
10 stealth and 22 history.
Wow.
Ba-boom.
Okay.
So not so stealthy, but definitely as it was in history.
No, it's pretty. You're pretty stealthy. So you're making your way up.
We will not be seen by casual observers.
You're not going to be seen by casual observers. Anyone who's looking for you and maybe following you might be seeing you.
We're not losing them. Yeah.
Well, they'll see you too. I don't know if they'll see
Yeah, right. The thing that hits you as you're going up is something that Percival said.
Oh, good. I was worried it was going to be an arrow.
No, it's something Percival said. All the night stuff, but also there is a saying among followers of Mystra that Mystra has a place for you. The people who say that are necromancers. And that's what you kind of remembered here as you were hiking up the mountain at night. And that...
And we all, with a 20, a 21, and a 22 history check, we all realize it at the same time.
20 was the number.
And so we all turn to each other simultaneously and go, 1, 2, 3. Necromancers!
Necromancers.
Sorry, it's a little slower there on the uptake. But just a little.
I like you said it too. Necromancers.
And
Nathan Bagora.
And you get to the top of the palisade. And at the very top of the mountain, Busk, you're going first?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear as you get close to the top, oh shit. And you like realize there's a little bit more light than what there was from the moon. And you smell like something burning. And then you realize the thing you smell burning is leather. And then you get to the very top and you realize that Galprank is up there and he's trying to smother his campfire with his leather cloak. And he looks up, he's got, hello, travelers. Fancy seeing you here at the top of the Stonewarren Pass.
What's you doing?
Hunting.
Hunting what?
Deers. Hunting deers.
Up here.
At night.
Yes. They come out first thing in the morning, and I like to get a good jump on them. That's why I have my crossbow here. And he holds up a crossbow.
And you do not think they are frightened away by the fire?
I was following you. God damn it.
I am still staying hidden.
And what were you hoping to find?
I was hoping you wouldn't come back here at night.
Why not?
But my fears have been realized. What do you think you're doing?
We don't like what we are seeing up here.
I don't like it either.
No one's being straight with us.
From what I understand, Percival was pretty straight with your friend Charnak.
In what way?
He told me that he told you about the war with the mountain and what their plans were. That seems pretty straight to me.
I'm trying to remember. Did Charnak share all the information?
I don't think Charnak told us a fucking thing.
I don't think he told us anything, right?
Yeah, I don't think he told you anything.
Or that he knew me as Charnak. But also, when would Percival have told him this? Sorry, I'm still staying hidden.
Yeah. So I just want to, you all would know this. Telepathic speech happens almost instantaneously.
Yeah, Percival could have told him all of that.
Yes.
in the
Yes.
moment we were there.
In his moment when he was looking at him and he said, yes, you have paid me well. You are right.
So there is a war.
I'm looking at Ebis. You're standing right beside me.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
There's a war between the dwarves in the mountain and the people outside the mountain.
It's a cold war. But some are dying. Now, I can't stop you from going to that lake. And I can't stop you from opening up the hole that leads to a tunnel that takes you to the bottom of the lake. But what I can tell you is that everyone you met who told you not to go out at night was not trying to protect some big secret. They want to protect you because they don't want the mountain dwarves to have any more soldiers than they already have. And that's what you'll become if you go into that hole, if you go on that lake, and if you go in that town right now.
Why the fuck would we be them? They're soldiers.
Go find out.
Why don't you just tell us?
Dead. They'll make you dead, and they'll send you at us.
So, you're saying the mountain dwarves are raising the dead and sending them back up at the dwarves on the surface?
I don't know.
But only at night.
People disappear at night. And then the monks do battle with screamers every night.
Screamers?
I've never seen the fight, but a lot of monks die. And when they do, Percival sets them on fire.
Do you say you don't see the fight, but you hear the fight?
Oh, you go a quarter mile that way toward the lake, you're going to hear it.
Well, I think that is what we are going to do.
All right.
You have to understand that it is important that we find out what is going on here.
Why?
It is important. There are people affected.
Who?
People.
People that live below the mountain.
You mean the dwarves?
No, I don't mean in the mountain. I mean down. Down the fucking hill.
What do they have to do? We've been keeping them safe for a year and a half.
Safe from what?
Safe from what's coming out of that mountain.
You do not understand. Something you are doing is blocking the water.
There's no fucking water left to grow crops. You're starving everyone.
Well, is that what this is about?
Part of it.
No one down there knows anything about undead.
Well, why didn't you just ask?
We haven't found the right person to speak to yet.
I can talk to the Mistra faithful. I can talk to the men in the mountain too, to be frank with you. On occasion, if I need to buy good ale, sell a gem or two. No one wants to screw over people down mountain. What's the problem?
Well, you've dammed the river.
But it still comes in, same amount of water comes in, and it goes over and goes down in the river down below.
It's not making it all the way down.
Well, talk to Percival. He can divert water toward you.
Maybe we will.
Well, maybe you ought to just go down the mountain, sleep a little bit, and come back tomorrow at noon. Maybe give him some magic shit. That's what he likes.
But what about the problem you are facing?
It's bad. It's not your fight. Again, I won't stop you.
I look at Busk. He's not wrong. It's not
I mean,
our fight.
From my hiding place, can I do an insight check?
Sure.
So a lot of this stuff is not adding up. That is a natural 20.
Boom.
These fucking rolls, man. You've already seen this
23
guy.
total.
You've already seen this guy lie. He's got a lot of
Mhm.
tells.
Mm-hmm.
It is almost impossible to tell when he's telling the truth because he seems like he is always fucking lying.
Mm-hmm.
And this is no different than that. With your natural 20, I will say a lot of what he's telling you, his motivation for telling you is different from what he's saying. But,
Yeah. I mean, that was the first thing that wasn't adding up is why would he give a shit about us?
It does seem like you're going to find something called a screamer, and it is not going to be pretty.
In my observances of the sign language, would I have picked up enough to just say, tell them the whole truth?
To Galprank?
To Galprank.
Yeah, probably. Sure.
Okay. Because I was trying to pick up as much of it as I could.
Yeah, sure.
I am going to use my one daily disguise self.
Okay.
And I'm going to disguise myself as Percival.
Okay. All right. And you're going to come out of the mountain.
And I
out of the
step,
hiding.
yeah, and I step into the sort of circle of dwindling firelight.
So I'll tell you.
Arms spread wide.
I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Galprank's not dumb. So there's going to be some level of performance or deception.
Okay.
That you'll have advantage on because you're going to look just like this guy.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's going to need to beat just a straight, like, int check, I think. It's probably not. It's probably investigation, maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to say straight int. So
I'm like, it doesn't matter which of those checks it is. They're all -1 for me.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have a giant bonus here, but it's something. Sure. Okay.
And I'm going to roll
I got a 14.
I think performance, because I'm going to have to do my signing too, right?
Yep.
Natural 20 on the second die, which becomes a 19.
So you come out and he's very confused. Because on the one hand, you told him to follow them and report back. And if they tried to get to the lake, to shank them. And you're saying to him now to tell them the truth. And he is staring at your eyes like he's clearly trying to ask you in his brain if you mean what you say.
And I want to sign to him, do not question. Keeping everything very simple and declarative with no embellishment.
So he's really kind of fucked up by this.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of says, I guess, did you all talk down the mountain?
And I just repeat the sign for tell them. And put a little glower in my face at his hemming and hawing.
All right. The screamers are here tonight to kill the dwarves from the mountain. There's a raid. And they're trying to come and take some of our liquid crete. And we've been storing it in the same place. And that's where the ambush is going to happen. And we don't want you getting involved because we didn't know what side you're on. And obviously you're with us. That's pretty clear now. And he looks over back at you,
And
Percival.
I give him like a keep going gesture.
And we're going to drain the lake tonight. Right down in Torag's hall. And drown every single dwarf that isn't up here on the raid.
And I look at them with pleading eyes at Ebis and
Yeah, you guys.
Davman. And I'm like, please ask some questions.
So I'm gonna give you all with advantage perception or investigation check, just to make sure this is as it seems to you, because it seems like this is your buddy and you've seen him disguise himself before, but he didn't tell you he was going to do it this time.
10.
10 will do it.
21.
21 will do it. Okay, so you're kind of on the same page.
It doesn't really describe how this bonus action telepathic speech works for the sorcerer.
Okay.
I'm going to use it to connect with Charnak.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
And this is entirely
and we
feasible.
can talk back and forth, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's basically just it's like Rary's, but it's only one person at a time.
And I'm like, for God's sake, ask him whatever we want to know right now. I can't say anything.
So
we've only got a few minutes before he figures this out anyway, so pump him for as much as you can.
Galprank,
Yeah.
the necromancers are clearly out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I mean, and he points at Percival. He's like,
and I nod sagely.
yes. And this is the night you take over the mountain.
yeah. Why the fuck did you come today?
I could ask to say, I don't know.
Did Master bring you here?
Master who?
My master, Percival.
No, it was luck, unfortunate or not.
Well, we could really use the help. Dwarves, when they open the gate, they open it and they are in full plate armor. And they come out and they will slash down the first few people that they see. And we usually just let them go. Tonight, we have to sacrifice some. If you want to be there where the Crete is, you can kill him there.
Is it really that they're after the Crete? Or is it some other faction splitting that's caused this rift between you?
Oh, that's he looks over back at you, Percival. And,
I give him the yes, please go on.
Yeah. It is about Mistra, but they're antagonistic to all the magics, and all of us decided that we would use no magic for 5 years and show them that we could build a society without it. In exchange, they were going to let us come back and take our place. Most of the beggars are nobles. I was not a noble. This might come as a surprise to you, but I was arrested as a thief.
You don't say.
And Percival and the dwarves that were Mistress Faithful, they let me come with them and they gave me another chance. Instead of taking my hands like they would have done in the mountain.
Ask him where the team that's flooding the tunnels is.
Where do they flood the tunnels from? How do they control that?
You almost got attacked for going there.
It's from the pier.
Well, it's down. But yeah, it leads to a pump house.
So a group of followers goes down in there, I see. Explains the reaction that we got, I suppose.
So you need us most to guard the pit?
Crete. No, that's where the That's where the best killing's going to happen. I thought I was just supposed to keep you out here. I don't want to go back. And Percival, you know I don't want to go back. You told me I didn't have to go back. I can't stand the dead. I don't like killing. I don't like death. Hell, I don't even like my kind. They shave their face now.
It offends you, does it?
I just want to live my life.
Well, I don't know why you stay on the mountain. There's plenty of other space to explore.
I owe them. That's why. I'm trying my best to honor a pledge I made.
How long does this guy's self last?
An hour.
An hour? Yeah. I'm gonna try to sign to him, you are released.
But what about, and he like starts to sign to you, like, what about my promise?
It is kept. Go. Again, I'm trying to keep it very simple and declarative.
And then he says, okay, out loud, and it says to you, how about my dagger?
Go without it. Oh, wait a second. Does he have it? Is he asking about a dagger he has with him or a dagger he wants me to give him? I'm just going to say, what do you want?
I want my family's dagger back so I can use it with honor.
And I say, stay and claim it or go without it.
He turns back and says, good luck, fellas. And he picks up his pack and walks over to you and puts his hands in the prayer sign, points to the moon, does his hands in this revolution round and round with a single finger, and brings his hands back into the prayer symbol.
Do I have any idea what that would mean?
No.
Okay. I sagely nod at him.
Are you coming back in a fucking lunar cycle?
And he says, he looks at
you.
you.
All right, they can ask questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out all this hand business.
And he looks over at you and he says, no, I'm telling him that I'll see him in the weave.
Ah.
Makes sense.
The moon is the weave. So a symbol.
It's the very tip of the weave, yes.
Ah.
And he looks back at you, Percival, waiting.
I thought you said
right.
goodbye. Yeah. I'm confused. Are you going or are you just staying?
I sign back to him. I'm not going to do the same sign back to him. I just sign now or never.
And he hangs his head and he looks at the two of you, Ebis and Busk, and he says, I thought I would find my honor here, but I guess I'm always going to be a thief. Picks up his pack and starts hiking down the hill.
Is he going toward where our camp
your
is?
Camp, yes.
Okay.
In my head. He is going toward our camp. Idea will be there, but probably look like a rock. But they were hidden, right?
No. They weren't hidden.
Shit.
How
far away did you
I
get?
gather the guys together. I'm like, we should whisper, just in case anyone.
No, that was
hear.
If you hear Ebis's voice, that's in your head because
I don't want anyone to hear us talking. I think one of us should pop out and let Idea know he's coming, have Idea offer him a place.
With us.
I think this guy's going to be useful to us.
Shit, he's going to stab us.
With the dagger he doesn't have.
There's one dagger he was looking for. He might have 5.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's a hopeful thought. He wasn't prepared for that. Or he was.
Fuck.
He's
Okay.
alone with no prospects. He will take any line thrown to him.
Okay. I will sit down on the ground and pop out. And Idea, there is a man coming.
Shall we kill him?
No. He may be useful to the team, but he is going to pass right by your camp. I think you should offer to let him stay with you. It is dangerous to go down the mountain at night in the dark, you know. Give him reason to be comfortable.
You are my commander. I will do as you say.
He may be armed.
No, of course he is. Who wouldn't be armed in the middle of the night here in the wilderness?
And he is a thief. But he looks for honor, so perhaps you can use that to keep him honest, I guess. I don't know. Wrong word.
Thieves with honor. I've known a lot of them.
Yes, he has just left a commitment from up on top of the mountain, and hopefully he will not have second thoughts and come back up.
Chiba's on his shoulder in bird form, and she squawks, and he says,
Yes. Very good. You will do the talking.
"What?"
Very good.
Oh boy. Okay.
And
Hey dear, I'm going back.
Stay safe.
Keep us safe.
Yes.
And then I pop back into my body. Into Davman's body.
All right, he's back. She's back.
Back again.
I believe it is time for Gregor Went of Went Manor to show his quality.
I think that's a good idea.
We,
Are we going to the pit?
no, that skirmish is a sideshow. We have to prevent the flooding of the city.
I think the dwarves in the mountain are the ones we actually need to parlay with. I think these guys out here have been staging a siege.
And if we can prevent the flooding of the city, that will give us an in with the dwarves. We have less than an hour of me looking like this. It may gain us entry into the tunnels.
All right, then we move quickly.
As quickly as we can.
okay. So you guys are gonna haul ass running?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay.
I am going to sort of try to keep cloaked
Okay. As best you can.
as best I can. And then, if anyone tries to stop us, reveal myself. But I don't want it to look like Percival's, running across the farm fields.
Okay. So it is nearly a full moon. So once you get into the fields and you're heading toward the lake, it is clearly, if anyone's looking, they can see people coming. There's not a lot to hide behind. It is dark, but anyone who can see in the dark is going to be able to see shadows moving and that sort of thing. It's nearly mid-moon o'clock.
High moon.
High moon. When you get near the lake, you can hear screaming, and you see that along the pier are shapes, forms, and they guard the way that you came from town all the way to the pier that Busk took a left on to head to the center of the lake. So in other words, they're not going to impede you until you get to the pier that you would need to take a ride on to get to the center.
How many?
So it's a long lake. There's a clump of them far, far to the other end that where you first get on the pier. say 5 there, and they're kind of spaced out along the pier. One every 10, 15 feet. There's like 9 more. And they're definitely looking toward the town. And you can see that the town is lit up and there is a small fire in the center of town. So you're going to head down the pier.
Can we see what these what
you're,
they are?
You're still probably 300 or 400 feet away from them.
Mm-hmm.
They look like figures. They look like people.
Well, fellas, I say we bluff it, and if the bluff doesn't work, we resort to violence.
My shadow stands up and begins walking beside us.
All right.
And so I'm going to walk in the center with these 2 guys flanking me, head held high, walking with a purpose.
Okay. And when you get about 100 feet away, the one that's closest turns and looks back at you all. And you hear that it's...
Don't perceive with other senses. Only use sight. Please only perceive with sight.
and it is screaming. And it looks back at the 3 of you. And
I hope the screaming doesn't inflict psychic damage. I hope the screaming doesn't inflict psychic damage on any of us.
Sam, you're just feeding the beast. You're giving him ideas.
And when you are, so you're about 100 feet away, it turns to look at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it's like straining and turning its head, and you look and its jaw opens and you can see straight through its jaw. And you realize what you thought was hair is actually sort of old leather and rags. And it's wearing dwarven clothes. And it's holding in its hand what looks like a club. But now if you strain your eyes, you realize it's a giant femur that it's holding in its hand. And this thing is a skeleton. And it is screaming and laughing and cackling. And you have the biggest feeling of foreboding you've ever had when dealing with undead. And as are you going to keep moving toward it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chin up.
All right. When
unconcerned. I see this every day.
When you get about 60 feet away from it, it sees you in all of your glory.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to move toward you.
How does it move towards me?
It's walking toward you.
Okay.
Not running, but walking.
Be cool, be cool, be cool. I say in my head to Ebis.
And
meanwhile, Dinfa's freaking.
When it gets about 30 feet away from you, it's laughing and cackling, and its teeth are chattering, and I need you all to give me wisdom saving throws.
Is this against a magical effect?
This is not a magical effect.
I would assume that my advantage from gnome cunning still applies.
I got an 8.
It's not a magic. It just says you have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic.
So this is not magic.
Okay.
It's just fucking scary.
Okay.
And
it's not magically enhanced scary. It's just normal freaky.
It's just what it is. You're just steeling yourself. And
12.
Okay. So Ebis, you are feeling super demoralized.
I'm freaking out, man.
You're not afraid. You're not afraid, but you are just demoralized. And you are looking at this thing, and it sees you, and it knows you are not one of the people that are protected against it. And it reaches up its finger and points at you, and then it begins to cackle super loud. and you see the other skeletons within earshot of it begin to run toward you. And we are in initiative.
All right. I was about to say, before any others can get here, I'm sending a shadow right at that skeleton.
Okay.
13.
19.
Okay. I'm going to get this thing. All right. 6.
22 initiative.
Wait, do not charge. Let them come to us.
Well, I'm not going to fucking run toward it, am I?
You certainly aren't going to run toward it. So you can see that they're moving toward you. The 5 that are like 200 feet away are not moving. The 9 that are in this line spaced out are. And basically every round, you're going to get one more arriving because they have a 30-foot movement and they're all spaced about 30 feet apart. So
Ebis is having an epiphany about the lack of bubbles.
Oh yeah, what, pray tell, what is it?
Well, it happened to be the 9 that you mentioned, and the 9 fishermen that you mentioned before with the whole busk
You
thing.
got
And
it.
I was like,
it's a little Pirates of the Caribbean
yes,
here. It's a little.
yes. We see them
You
as
got
skeletons
it,
in the
my man.
moonlight. There we go.
You got it.
Amazing.
Truth now that only moonlight can reveal.
You are smart people.
Until we need to ask questions about the plot, and then I'm like, who's fighting a war? Who's gaslighting who now?
Okay, so you have one that's 30 feet away from you. You are super demoralized. I will tell you mechanically what this means when you do the thing that sparks it, because this has never happened to you. It's not frightened.
No,
but
it's not exhaustion.
There are some similarities between frightened and demoralized.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm not going to. I mean, I have no inclination to run toward it. I think I have every inclination to take a few steps back and be the second in line.
Sure.
Also, I'm not the melee fighter,
Yeah.
despite stats. So, yes, Davman will take a few steps back. And then I will cast Acid Splash. It has a range of 60 feet, so I could hit 2 and then move back.
Well, it has a range of 60 feet.
Yeah, it says choose 1 or 2 creatures you see within. Oh, they must be within 5 feet of each other.
5 feet
Never
of
mind.
each other.
Yes,
yeah,
sorry,
so
I
you
forgot
can only
about
hit
that.
one of them.
I just stopped reading when it was convenient. You know,
This is
how
a
we
very
do.
smart move, my man. A very smart move.
So
You know what's always a smart move? Acid.
So it's DC 13 dexterity save, or they take 1d6 acid.
Okay, here we go. They're not good at this.
Not 5th level yet, so
Okay.
it's just 1.
He got a 10, so he is going to take the D6.
6.
Wow.
6, baby.
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. All right. Here, let me arrange
and then
guys.
I'm gonna line up a little bit. I'm gonna back up behind Busk and Gregor.
Okay.
Not too far, but like maybe 5 feet behind. There's no skeletons behind us that we heard or passed on the way.
No, for sure not. No. Okay, so this guy is hit, and he kind of like he recoils, but as he recoils, he laughs again.
It's fucking
and it's
creepy.
really fucking creepy.
Shut up. And that is my turn.
Okay. All right, and it's
Did you
Dinfa's
move,
turn.
or are you staying with the group here?
I'm with the group, but I'm just now taking the 3rd position in the group.
Okay.
All right. How far? So there's the one that we're looking
30
at.
feet?
How far is it
60
away from
feet?
the other?
90 feet?
Okay, so they're
120?
all 30 feet apart.
All the way down, all 30 feet away.
All right. God damn it.
And the pier is only wide enough for 3 people to be martial at a time. So like you could probably walk 5 abreast, but you couldn't fight 5 abreast.
Right.
You know.
But one person could probably hold it.
That's right. There, one busk could probably hold.
Well,
it.
that's what I'm going for. I hate the idea of them all coming at me.
Not yet. Next turn.
I can't help it.
God damn it, Bus.
So I could do this. I'll show some restraint, and I'll send the shadow straight at it to attack.
Okay. And then what happens here? Don't you have to attack to have him attack?
It can use my attacks.
Okay.
So it's just going to come up and attack with the halberd.
I think that's a yes, Tom. You have to take the attack action, right? For the knight.
But he uses
for the
his
Echo Knight to do it.
The shadow can take my attack action.
Right.
Yeah, so he could attack, and then the shadow also attacks if he attacks, so he could double it up.
Or the shadow can attack twice.
Yeah. Oh, we can attack twice.
Yeah, because as long as I take the attack action, the shadow gets another attack. So the shadow gets my attack action and then gets another attack.
All right.
So 15?
15 will hit.
Okay. And
Easily hits.
that's 5 slashing.
Okay.
And then
It's fun being back with these lower numbers.
Uh-huh.
another attack. 19.
19 also hits.
All right, sweet. 7 slashing.
7 slashing. He's still alive. I mean, still undead. But he really takes it, and it's Charnak's turn.
I put a hand on Busk's shoulder and cast protection from evil.
Oh, that's so good. Tell me what it does. Tell me all the things that it does.
Its concentration lasts up to 10 minutes. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against creature types of long list, including undead. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of these types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. Now, I don't know how that counts for demoralized, but
Right.
I'm gonna say
that's at least good for advantage on a saving throw, right?
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
you cannot be demoralized.
All right.
Yes.
He cannot be demoralized. There's something else it does, and not being demoralized is huge
Okay.
for this.
So
Awesome.
And I will give you advantage on that.
So I cast protection from evil on Busk, and then I say, "Go get him, cowboy!" And then I say, "I got to get an angle," and I run away 35 feet, sort of at a 45-degree angle, away, like behind the group.
Well, 45-degree angle. You're on a pier that's long and straight.
We're already on the pier.
You're on the pier.
I thought we were like on the
You're
shore.
like halfway on the lake.
All right. Well, then I'm going to get about 20 feet behind the group.
Okay.
But like move my head around like I'm looking for the best place to take a shot from.
And let me just get this straight. How far back did Ebis move?
Maybe 10 feet. He was just at the back of the group.
All right. So we got Busk, and you got the skeleton is up with his
Echo.
his shadow. So on your turn, you won't be demoralized. I'm guessing your shadow can't be demoralized.
It can't.
And the skeleton raises its bone hand. I mean, it's the femur holding hand, and then his other hand, and he points with the two of them at you and at Busk. And he says,
You call me a skeleton, but you're the bony asses.
and this is a mock from the cackling skeletons.
Great.
You have a DC 12 charisma save. Now you are going to get advantage on this with protection from evil and good. but it is psychic damage, which is going to cause you to have a saving throw if you, no matter what. But half damage, 2d4, and your saving throw for concentration will be the number of psychic damage that you take divided by 2. So it's not a lot yet.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so it's just me.
Yeah, but so your shadow is going to disappear, I guess. Is he immune to psychic damage?
Yeah, I don't know if it can take psychic damage.
I mean, it doesn't have eyes.
Let's see here.
Does he have brains?
Oh my God. John just pasted up.
Immunity to all conditions. That's amazing.
Yeah, immunity to all conditions.
But
So
this
he's
is not a condition.
Scared,
Right.
but is he immune to psychic damage?
Does not say that.
No. So he's going to take the damage, I think. It doesn't really make sense. He's a shadow.
That kind of sucks.
He's a shadow. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't have any mentals.
All right. So you know what?
I mean, if you could hit him with a sword, it doesn't make sense either. So
yeah, that's true.
No, it's true. I just thought psychic damage was specifically for
something that has a brain.
Yeah. Because even animals, for certain things, certain animals can't
No, it
take.
says if it has to make a saving throw, it uses your saving throw bonus for the roll.
Well, that's true.
Same size as you. Yeah, they're just trying to make it not so overpowered.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it is a projection of you.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'd do it. It's fine. Advantage twice.
Yeah.
Charisma
But it's going to die
throw.
Because it's going to take some
it's
damage.
It's gone because it takes half.
It's going to take damage.
All right, so it's gone. 12.
Okay. So you pass it.
Oof.
Oh, wait. No, he's not going to take. Oh, yeah, he is. So you're going to take half of this.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to take half of this. So
1,
3, 1. So you're going to pass the concentration check because you can't get less than 1.
Yeah. So auto pass.
Check. Yeah, auto pass on that one.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
This is the Kyber psychic
It's
check.
not a standard concentration check.
Yeah, that's right. But it really pumps up, right? So, yeah. Okay. And then another one comes up and arrives to that one. This one. So now you have one on you that he doesn't have any attacks because he just mocked you.
Mm-hmm.
And
so he mocked me and then ran up into my face.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is dashes. So you have 2 guys on you now. Now we're back at the top. You're within 30 feet, Ebis. So you need to do another saving throw.
Oh, so that effect only lasts a round.
Only lasts a round.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have another wisdom.
I don't hate that.
Wisdom saving throw.
11.
Okay, so you passed. You're no longer demoralized.
Okay. And now there's 2 of them together.
On Busk.
On Busk.
10 feet ahead of you. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to actually close distance and use my green flame blade on my staff and whack the one I acid splashed and then send 5 damage over to his buddy.
Nice.
But I got to make a melee attack for that. So
your bonus is 5. Oh. Nice.
It's crazy. Wait, you have a 20 in something? Oh, because you just got your level up and you got the +1 and then the +2 on your thing, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Second creature takes fire damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. My spell attack bonus is 5. Is that the same thing? It's the same thing, right? Oh.
What's your
that would be
spellcasting
3.
ability is charisma. So yeah, it'd be whatever your charisma
so it's 3.
modifier is.
Okay, so it'll be 3. Yeah. All right, either way, that's fine.
Spell attack bonus includes your proficiency.
That's true. Okay. So let me make an attack and then so it's just normal damage for the first one and then 3 damage to the second one. So it just basically adds a little splash damage here. assuming that I hit. So, two-handed quarterstaff, 12 to hit.
Hits.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that is 5 bludgeoning to the one I hit before, and 3 green flame bounces to the other one.
When you hit him with your quarterstaff, you realize that the bludgeoning damage is very, very effective against him. And he shatters into pieces. And his jaw is still clacking on the ground. And then the other one takes 3 damage, and it looks down at his friend, and he cackles at you. Okay.
It's fire damage if that matters on the other
Kick
one.
that jaw in the
Oh,
water.
shit. Oh, my
That
God.
seems like it might be effective on skeletons.
Oh, it's effective, but it doesn't, it's not
not-
vulnerable to it.
okay.
It's only vulnerable
Just
to,
checking.
thing. Okay.
That's it. That's my turn.
Charnak.
So this is my first time using this. So I linked it here in the chat. My planar warrior feature. The key piece here, it says, as a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The next time you hit that creature on this turn with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by the attack becomes force damage, and you add a 1d8.
Wow, that's great.
I take that to
Especially
mean
because you've got piercing.
right? Which I'm assuming is not great for skeletons. So turning it into
Right.
the whole thing into force is good. Also, though, that I don't have to be within 30 feet when I make the attack.
I think that's
I
correct.
tag him at 30 feet, run back 30 feet, and turn and fire.
Okay. Do it.
That is a 25.
That's a hit.
And
Wow.
that is 15 force damage.
So close. He is not dead.
Ah,
So close, though.
not vulnerable to force damage, huh?
No, but it is effective. It's very effective.
No, force is just that beautiful, almost nothing resists it damage.
Okay. So the one that is here, he points at the two of you, Ebis and Busk. Busk, you have advantage on this.
Now, hold on just a second, real quick.
Yeah.
Did something get mixed up when I did my saves? Tim went. I'm supposed to go after Tim.
I'm sorry.
The tokens look too much the same in this tiny
the
little
tokens
view.
look the same to me. They're tiny too on my tiny little screen. Okay. Well, go
I
ahead.
just was extra fast and got my shot off right before you attacked.
Yeah.
I just jumped in order because I was so excited to use my planar warrior feature for the first time. Harnessing
And
the power of the multiverse and sending
Yes.
it out through my arrows.
Yes. and so you are you're next. You do not have to roll a saving throw because you have protection from evil and good on.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead. Do your
And-
thing.
Chop his
one-
ass.
One of them is down.
Down dead.
Okay, so
It's-
it's just
it's
the one
like-
guy now.
Still wriggling around. Its bones are still animated, but it's done.
Okay, and so I chop at the other one with the halberd. It's fucking 8.
That's
And
a
then
miss.
I do a bonus action, butt end. 18.
That's a hit.
And
Oh, and that does bludgeoning.
Damage. Bludgeoning damage,
Butt end
baby.
is bludgeoning.
So I'm going to okay. I want to never mind.
Roll your damage, baby.
7.
7. That's 14, and that destroys this skeleton.
Jabam.
So another one's down, but
7 more running for us.
the one that was 90 feet away in the beginning is now approaching you, and he moves up to be within your right up on you.
Okay, so reaction, Polar Master.
Yeah, you are.
Attack. 17.
That'll hit.
All right. 5 slashing.
All right. I would almost just keep butt ending these guys.
Just hit him with the butt end.
Just butt end them, man.
I think that's only a bonus
if
action.
If you
though.
allow it, I'll do it. But it says a bonus action butt end attack. I'm not sure what you'll let me do.
All right, and he is going to.
He turns
mock
it
you
around and
both.
just holds it like a baseball bat instead, with sharp
It's
end
back,
towards
it's
him. Yeah.
Butt end's back.
Back
Back
again.
All right, and he
Dinfa, just whack him with the side of it.
and he looks, and this guy looks at you as,
You think you can kill what is not alive? You are foolish, human.
and that's going to be another.
Oh,
mock.
that vicious
come on.
mockery.
No, come on.
And so DC 12 charisma saving throw for both you and Ebis. You have advantage on it. Ebis is a straight roll.
14.
14, it passes.
18.
Passes.
Yes.
So you both are going to take this, though.
Charnak,
You're
you
gonna
hooked me up, man.
half of half.
So I take half of half also.
Sorry, you're going to take half. Your roll is half of this damage. So you have let's see here. So you're going to take this much damage.
Oh, I see my save
You're going to take
roll.
half of this. You're going to take 2 damage, and you both have a 1 to pass a concentration check. You're fine. Both of you are fine.
And I
Okay.
take 1
2.
damage as well
You take 2 damage. You both take 2 damage, but your concentration check is 1.
because you just
So
rolled
you're not
half.
gonna-
Is that why? Because you were saying half of half.
So because you pass the thing, so you only take half the damage, and your
Concentration check is
your
half of that.
concentration is half of your
it.
damage that you do.
Got
your
it.
research.
Hibernation tech.
Mm-hmm.
We got to come up with a word for that.
And
Your Kybercon.
you look down this pier, and the one that's on you, and you have 6 more coming down in a straight line, but in the back, the last 3 are now charging together, and they will arrive in 2 rounds.
Oh, damn. The front one's held up and waited, huh?
The back, yeah, the back one's held up and waited.
All right.
So this is going to be it for this episode. When we come back, you're going to see if you can beat these guys.
Episode
Psychic
15
damage.
at Turkey Shoot.
Episode 15. Yeah, turkey shoot. Although,
Shooting
Look-
skeletons on a pier that can't run 6 abreast.
look, they're doing psychic damage.
Mhm.
This is your first fight with a lot of psychic damage.
Yeah.
And it is, I hope you feel scared because I'm scared for you. You lose concentration. You can't get back in this body.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Dinfa will find a broom and climb up the mountain. I'm
That's right.
coming. This is awful.
all
This
right,
is-
everybody.
I have something. It's bigger than I want it to be for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Why didn't we
See what
grab
happens
one
in
of those
Buck.
scrolls of fireball?
Hey, I
Right.
said fucking go, you know what? Next show, bonus episode. Let's do it.
Yeah. And then we'd probably
Let's
set the
go.
whole pier on fire. And yeah.
yeah, right.
I said let's grab a scroll.
Great.
Oh,
Good
man.
one today.
Thanks for
Yeah.
yeah, good one,
awesome.
guys.
Yeah, that was
Thanks
fun.
for coming by, everybody. Sorry it was such a long one, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Hopefully nobody's complaining.
Sorry, it's a
Uh,
plus-sized episode. It's a magnum episode for you guys. I've heard some listeners don't like it if it's too big.
Come find us on dungeondads.com, patreon.com/dungeondads to find the bonus content and hear us talk about our thoughts on this episode and lots more.
Oh, I got a lot of thoughts.
Yes, indeed. All right. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks
for coming by.
everybody.
Cat ate